We will now hear from someone who won the Professor of the Year award last year, Ted Brekken. Professor Brekken received his bachelor's, master's, and PhD from the University of Minnesota. A former Fulbright scholar, he also has won a few other awards along the way. In addition to teaching several courses, he is also a renewable energy researcher. It is my pleasure to introduce this year's faculty speaker, Ted Brekken.
Thank you. Greetings, class of 2017, and congratulations. For my brief remarks today, I want to encourage you to take a moment to consider three things: your past, your present, and your future. So let's start from the beginning, your past. The universe is about 13.7 billion years old. This is known from a number of factors, but primarily measurements in the cosmic microwave background radiation in which we are all bathed right now, the afterglow of the Big Bang. As I speak, the photons from the birth of your very own universe are all around you. If you turn an old TV to static, you'll see some of them. Then after that, there were a few generations of stars that lived and died, sometimes explosively, creating the heavy elements that make up everything in this room, including us. We are stardust. Stars gave their lives to make your ingredients. Then at some point, around 4.5 billion years ago, the solar system coalesced around our sun, which is something like a third-generation star, a grandchild of the first stars. The earliest simple life forms formed around 4 billion years ago. Life was probably born in the sea, at some point crawled out onto land, and then some of them went back to the sea again. Most of life on Earth, and in numbers and in mass, are actually bacteria. They are the real masters of Earth. Anyway, for big stuff, like us, we continued on through several mass extinctions, several rises and collapses, and eventually ended up with a tall, smart, big-brained primate around 100,000 years ago. Us, or something like us. If we compress the timeline of all of life on Earth into a single 24-hour period, such that midnight is now, Homo sapiens showed up about 2 seconds before midnight. Humans hunted. They figured out how to use fire for heat, cooking, and protection. They also did something very important, something better than any large creature has done. They collaborated. They traded. They combined strengths and minimized weaknesses in their groups. They made tribes. They toiled and starved and died of childbirth and childhood diseases, many of which we now have cures for. They figured out how to make languages, how to read and write, so that knowledge could pass on. Then they found coal and oil. Now we can drive, we can fly, we can farm at large scales, we can visit other worlds. We cured diseases that have killed countless. We also found out how much energy is in mass, atomic energy. We built nuclear genocide machines that lurk under farmland, in the air, and in the sea. They stand poised and ready to end it all should a single unstable person in the right place decide to do so. Hold on, it gets a little darker. We have the power to it gets a little better toward the end. We have the power to effectively end all human life on Earth in 15 minutes. The human species walks around holding a loaded gun to its head. As for the energy revolution, its fruits still escape many. Billions of humans still toil in poverty, war, rape, and disease. The 6 richest men in the world, 6 men, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, Amancio Ortega, Mark Zuckerberg, and Carlos Slim. Those 6 men control the wealth of 4 billion people. 6 people control the wealth of half of the world's population. That means that just those few people hold heaven on earth in their hands for the billions, that's thousands of millions of kids that live in poverty, that go hungry, and that need medical care. So that's where we stand. That's our present. From this singular point, in the time of a few lifetimes from now, people of Earth are going to have to decide to either continue to use up our resources, accelerate climate change, while the have-nots will claw in the darkness for the last of the clean water, the last of the energy, while surely the sword of nuclear annihilation that hangs over all of our heads, which hangs by a thread as thin as a single false alarm, a single unstable despot, a single terrorist, a single resource-driven conflict, that thread will surely eventually snap and the sword will fall. That's our moment. That's where we stand in history. Well, pretty cheery, huh? Well, what speech do you think you guys were going to get? Be yourself, dream big, follow your dreams, celebrate good times. When preparing this speech, I thought, man, this is too dark. But we're all big kids. And that brings me to something Roger Traylor said when he gave this presentation about 7 years ago, this speech. I don't recall the exact details, but in a list of advice for the new graduates, he counseled that it was time to grow up. and time to drink big boy beer, in his words. By which he meant good local craft brews and not discount cases of watery swill from international conglomerates. Once in a while, I'll be in Fred Meyer in the beer aisle, and I'll see some students with hands full of Busch Light, and I just want to go slap it out of their hands and point them to row after row of outstanding local beers. To be honest, I'm not really sure what the point of that story is, other than to say that Roger is awesome, and let's say the moral is something about appreciating what we have and taking responsibility for making good choices. So anyway, back to the present. What can we do to face our challenges? We can change our thinking. We can change the terms of the discussion. For example, climate change and environmentalism have become partisan issues, but this is an illusion. Nature and physics does not care what team you're on. Multiple lines of evidence paint a picture in which we need to find a way to provide an equitable opportunity and quality of life for all people within rapidly tightening energy and emissions constraints. We are more the same than we are different. We let partisanship divide us. We choose our bubbles. Who thinks clean water and natural spaces are important? Congratulations, you're an environmentalist. Who feels their community is important? Who feels it is important to acknowledge the best qualities of your country? Congratulations, you're a patriot. Earlier I mentioned that people are good at forming tribes. How big is your tribe? Is your tribe small? Is it Chevy but not Ford? Is it Americans but not Mexicans? Is it whites but not blacks? Christians but not Muslims? Democrats but not Republicans? Dare I say beavers but not ducks? Or can your tribe be big enough to include all humans, all animals, all life, all college sports? How big is your tribe, your nation? Graduates, you are so lucky to be here now. You should be proud of what you have done with your opportunity, but you should also recognize that you had that opportunity in the first place. You will go out into the world with your specialized training, tremendous resources compared to the majority of humans over the course of history. And you will bring those skills, your ideas, your rationality, your intuition and values. You will add that to the strength and the community of the world. So to bring it all home, can you imagine the chances that you are here now at this moment in history? What will you do with this chance? We have so much opportunity despite those dangers. We have you. So please go forth and do the hard work. Work hard, make mistakes thoughtfully, drink good beer in moderation if you want to, with good food, and make the most of what good fortune and your hard work has placed in your hands today. Class of 2017, you are so important and you are so powerful. Be present, be joyful, and be thankful. Fellow faculty, thank you for working with me. Thank you for your hard work and expertise. Thank you for your friendship. Family and friends of the graduates, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting your students. Students, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming to my lectures and asking questions. Thank you for your energy and your spark of potential. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for what you will do. Class of 2017, congratulations.
I'm Karti Mayram, the acting associate school head, and I'll be